are live. F it. We're doing it live. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy MM2K back again with a special episode of the Stadia. I'm so flustered with this news. I don't even know the hell I'm on. Am I on Wheel of Fortune or something like that? I don't know. I'm on Stadia Live Session. This is a Stadia Live Session. I am MM2K. That's right. Okay, I got that right. I am MM2K. And we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest gaming news. While everybody's getting set up, I'm getting a lot of messages. I just want to get this out of the way too. Will it crash? No, it ain't that bad. No, it ain't that bad. My best friend's wife just called me. Shout out to her. She's like, MM2K, how can I score an Xbox? And I said, if you craft a box and write an X on it, you could probably get one. But news just came out that they might be back ordered until like April. So yeah, that's the thing. So I mean, I didn't read the full story yet. I still got to dive into that one. But for those of you that were interested in Xbox, it's back. They said there's going to be shortages up until April. So you might see one here and there, but it's good in the way I skimmed through it. The way it sounds like it's going to be worse than the 3070, trying to get a 3070 or the 3000 series card. Cause I got one, you know what I mean? Might be a little bit more difficult. And part of that reason could be for the simple fact that, this is why I was saying, guys, it's important. I know we all have our favorite consoles, and I know I like to give Xbox a hard time just because. But if you look at it all, somebody said it. I think it was Rich at Review Tech. I know I pick on Rich a lot, but no, we like Rich. Rich is cool with broadband bullies. I ain't got no problem with Rich. Rich said it best. He said that these consoles should have waited a year. I'm not going to lie. I kind of agree. I know a lot of my PlayStation people ain't going to appreciate that. I know the Xbox people don't appreciate that. I know there's console war stuff going on, but I wholeheartedly agree that these consoles should have waited a year. First and foremost, if you were following Broadband Bully, shout out to my homie Post Up. We call him Get Up because he's always on GitHub. You know what I mean? But Post Up had found some information that surmised that the PlayStation 5 was supposed to release in 2019. And what ended up happening was that they were having worse yields in 2019. They wanted to come out first. That didn't work out. So then they realized, okay, because it's more quote unquote acceptable if they would have had which to me I don't even think it matters at all. But I guess in their eyes it would have been more acceptable for them to have the lesser T-flops than the Xbox Series X. Oops. It would have been more acceptable to them because they were coming out considerably earlier, right? But they felt that if they were going to come out the same year, they thought it was going to be disastrous for them to only have 9.7 T-flops at their most powerful level. So that's where the variable refresh rate and all that stuff came in, where they, worked with the chip and got it to do that. To me, I don't even think it was necessary. But again, that's just me, because I think the games are going to look good enough, especially if PlayStation maintains its dominance globally. You're going to see the same thing that you saw with the Series X, even though you'll see with the Series X as you saw with the One X, even though the Series X is more capable in a lot of ways. Developers are going to make it look, they're going to go all out for the most selling box. That's what you saw with the One X. You saw there were a lot of games on the One X that looked better than the PlayStation 4 Pro, but they should have looked a lot better, and they didn't. And you didn't start seeing it happen until Red Dead Redemption occurred. When Red Dead 2 came out, everybody was like, ooh, now we see the difference between the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro, and that's when, you know what I'm saying, that's when the true power of the box really started to sing. But that was like, you know what, a year later, the damage was already done. They hadn't won an NPD since then, you know what I mean, in a whole year's time. And I bring all that to say this. PlayStation with its yields problem. I mean, they both have yield problems, but PlayStation with its more predominant yield problems, Xbox not having any catered experiences for the box at launch. I do think these things came out a year early. I do think they came out a year early. I mean, you know, PlayStation was talking about we believe in generations. All right, well, why aren't your games, you know, solely PlayStation 5? Xbox, you know better. You don't release the world's most powerful console and have games looking better on the box that has like a 70% fail rate at the moment. You know, for a lot of people now, it's still not a good look. Because I'm in a DM and people are like, yeah, PlayStation 5s are failing. But the fact of the matter is, folks, is that people still rather get those failing PlayStation 5s at mass than they would the Xboxes. I'm sorry. That's just the way you look at the tracking. That's just the way that it is. So I think they both were not ready. They just weren't ready to come out this year. So that I agree with Rich Review Tech. I know as a gamer, nobody wants to hear that. You guys are shouting your tomatoes, your proverbial tomatoes to throw at me, but it is what it is. In the long term, you know, who wants to deal with a system that's shutting off, even though you can reboot it back up in most instances? It's not being bricked in most instances. I've experienced it a couple times, but who wants to deal with that? And also, who wants to pay $500 for a box just merely to play your old games? I don't think these, you know, and that's why I'm sticking to Stadia. I can play these old, like the game that you see right here, Division 2, 4K 60 on my PlayStation 5 is still 4K 30. So if I'm going to relish old games, why pay $500 to play an old game which I can play better on Stadia? You know what I mean? With that said, here, I'm just want to let everybody know that we are live. Ooh. Breaking news. Wow. I'm just going to put this on the screen and I'm going to urge everybody. I can't see y'all. Whoa, hold on. I cannot see y'all. Oh, I just happened to notice this because oh, come on. Oh my God. So, I mean, it's a long ways off. You know, 2022 is a long ways off, but can y'all see that? This is courtesy of Cloudy Games. Here, let me copy the link address. And I'm gonna put it right here. What's up, Zogic? How you doing, my good friend? Wow. You guys are gonna want to check that out. That's Cloudy with Games, breaking story, possible Monster Hunter title coming to Stadia 2022. Wow. Oh my man, this is the news doesn't. Hey, shout out to Cloudy with Games with all the news that they've been dropping. Shout out to them, man. Crazy. Let me just shout out everybody that's here. What's up, Chris? Good to see you, my good friend. Hell Monkey in the house. Yo. Derek Graham, he says MM2K becoming a lunatic man. I still love Stadia, but I'm loving Luna too. Hey, that's what's up, man. Hey, when these mugs answer any of my 5 email requests that I sent them on various accounts, I would love to be a Luna man too. And then we'll, if we can squeeze in time, because I want to do this within an hour, because my spiritual guide, my spiritual advisor, rather, Clive Linden, is going live in about 50 minutes. I don't want to overrun him at all. I want y'all to go directly from here to him and check out all the good stuff that he has to promote over there on his channel. So we're gonna cap this in an hour. But no, Derek, I can dig it. I just, you know, my thing about Amazon is, okay, it's awesome. Like we were watching Xcloud Extreme Gaming, Marchief and Ace. They were playing some Valhalla, and you can set the what's it called? It's to ultra. You know what I'm saying? You can set it to ultra, set the the textures and stuff, the settings, the visuals to ultra, and you can change the frames. Now he set it to ultra. I think it was Ace it was playing. He set it to ultra. He set it to 90 frames per second. He didn't even get 60 frames. But if I'm just saying, if you would have bumped it down to like high settings, maybe medium high settings, he probably would have got a flat 60. Hence why I feel that Ubisoft should be doing 60 frames per second here. Look, there's two groups that are buying this. We paid money for this. Group A are the casuals. Group B are the tech enthusiasts. I think for the most part, all of the stuff that we've seen over the several months is fantastic for both groups. And those are the target demos. I had to remind somebody earlier about that. That Phil Harrison did specify who the target demo is. But just because one target demo is larger than the other, you can't ignore them. Frames per second is important to the tech side of the demographic. And for Ubisoft, the team that has the hottest games this holiday season, for us to, at the beginning of this experience, say, oh, Ubisoft is down with Stadia. Oh, man, thinking that, that's our Batman, that's Robin to our Batman. You know what I'm saying? We're doing a jig together. For them to finally come with Ubisoft Plus, but what they're presenting is better elsewhere besides us, it's a tough pill to swallow. And I think with a little bit, I think one or two things need to happen on that side. I spoke about it, but I won't bloviate about it too much because we got too much good news going on. I think that if you can't, I think that they should do something. I think they should say, okay, we couldn't do it at launch, but give us a few months, we'll have a patch out, it'll be 60 frames per second. I think that's acceptable. Or if you can't do it at all, get on the horn, get on the mic, and explain to us why. I kind of gave an example on TSI this past Saturday, but I think that the status quo, again, of the hottest games this holiday season, with the expectation, I don't think the expectation was too lofty of that, we're going to get good performance here. But everybody else is getting, good stuff when it comes to the Ubisoft games as of late, except for us. We are the ones that, at a base level, made 60 frames per second the thing, the whoop to do. At a base level, we said, hey, at a base level, cheaper than a PlayStation 4 Slim and an Xbox One S, you can get performance that you can't even get there, let alone their more expensive counterparts. So, but that's something that I lay more on the shoulders of Ubisoft more than I lay at Stadia, but that's here nor there. All right, we got some good news. We can shout out everybody. Papa Penguin, he said, MM2K, man, I'm becoming a lunatic. Oh, okay. I'm a Stadia man. All right. We got Ray Sherrod, Monster Hunter. That's crazy, man. Wow. You guys need to check out that link and make sure that y'all are paying attention, man. A lot of crazy news happening on the Stadia front. All right, so here's what I want to do. Again, we only got an hour. And I burned through a lot of that just babbling. I just want to go to a few places and let's see here. Let me move this out of the way. I got okay. And who's okay? The homie Hell Monkey, Dr. Spaceman in the house. Shout out to Dr. Spaceman, Hell Monkey. Love you guys. Some great content creators in the community, man. Definitely check out their stuff. We got Stadia Super Saturday coming to. Are you guys stoked? You guys should be stoked. Oh, no, that's not it. Come on. What's going on here? Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me, man. Where's my tweet? Let's do a little something like this. Okay, Control C. Where's the Discord at? Discord does not want to cooperate with me. Rappity dap dap. All right. Let's do that. Let's go down here. Let's do that. Oh, okay. And then let's go down here to the homies in Triple B. Oh, what the heck is that? And we'll do this. Okay. So yeah, that's huge, man. That's huge. I'm gonna close this out. We got Monster Hunter coming sometime, a version of Monster Hunter coming in 2022. And then that all coincides with the roadmap stuff that we saw from Stadia via Google Canada on YouTube. Google Canada on YouTube released a whole bunch of stuff earlier today that just backslap, just did it to the stratosphere. A lot of the bibble babble from the Stadia haters that were like, this thing isn't going to last a year. You know what I'm saying? He says, KD says, I changed my name. Okay, I got you. Got you, KD. Dr. Spaceman, hello everyone. The homie Raven Anime was here early as well, man. Shout out to him. Because I can't wait for Monster Hunter. I bought Monster Hunter on release, and I normally wouldn't buy a game like that. But yes, man. Charles Oran says, dang, wrong Yeezy in the house. Wrong. Still exec with the thumbs up. Appreciate you, good brother. Yeah, man, that's some serious stuff. Shout out to Cloudy with a chance of games. Golly, man. This has been action-packed news day. All right. Speaking of Cloudy with a chance of games, might as well get into it, y'all, right? Here we go. Is that? No. That's not it. Oh, yeah, that was the story that I was looking at. But we're going to look for Cloudy. There they go. I might as well just go to their wall. I'm doing the show. I'm doing the show VIA satellite from Cloudy with a Chance of Games wall. Wow. So where do we start, man? Okay, they did the Stadium Myths Decrypted. I like that story. Okay, so we had the big news, y'all, where Xcloud was being reported to be in Japan. Now, shout out to Jim Stadia. The homie Jim Stadia, remember when he found that verbiage online about that had, Japanese writing in it about Stadia? Well, it seems like that Cloudy with a Chance of Games has discovered officially in some capacity that Stadia's launch in Japan and Australia appears to be close, and that'll rival the announcements that are made by Xcloud. I do think that the announcement made by Xcloud was reactionary based upon let me tell you this much. I'm going to tell you this much. Don't believe that Xcloud or the people at Xbox ain't paying attention to these shows. They're not paying attention to you on Twitter. They're watching all this stuff. I guarantee you, they're watching all this stuff just from the connections that we have dealing with people on Xbox. I think honestly, they're watching more and they're reacting more to the stuff that we say than Stadia is. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But believe you me, they are watching all this stuff. They're doing their homework. They are not the mainstream media. The mainstream media that blows us off, they are not them. They are doing their homework. Now, in front of the camera, they'll blow it off, because they for instance, Xbox, not Xcloud, but Xbox has greater mind share and interest, way more greater mind share and interest than Stadia. I mean, it's a juggernaut, and Stadia right now is new. It's a 4%, it's a 4% market share business, which is cloud gaming in general. It's a 4% market share business. That being said, they know that over time, the potential of this 4% business is going to balloon. So they're watching. So because they're watching, once Jim released that information about Japan, I wouldn't be surprised if that triggered, we got to get ahead of this before this makes ripples. You know what I mean? And Xcloud announced their plans for Japan and other places in Asia, right? So, But that's a shout out to Cloudy with games, chance of games on that. All right. Hold on. That's not the story that I wanted. I wanted the leak. Did they take down the leak? Oh, here it goes. Let's talk about the leak first. Okay. Dosage says there was a great interview with Jade Raymond too that went under the radar. I got to see that. You got to drop a link to that in here, buddy. Almanar says, you want Monster Hunter, get it on a PlayStation or an Xbox so it can shut off while I'm playing it? Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, right. Anywho, it's the homie Amunar. So let's talk about the hack, y'all. So for those of you that are not aware, Capcom received a serious data breach. I think they called it Herlock Sholmes or something like that. It was a code name for it. This is courtesy of Cloudy with a Chance of Games. It says Capcom data leak gives hint of Resident Evil on Stadia, and they have since updated due to some more information. This is now in the modern world we live in. Cyber attacks are incredibly common, so much so that they're the most people. They are a lot more common than most people perceive. Amidst a global pandemic, ransomware attacks have increased fourfold, with employees working from home to the general strain of a pandemic it puts on the workplace. Security becomes an even bigger risk. It's been widely reported that Capcom says suffered at the hands of attacks earlier in November. MPFirst.com have recently reported a breakdown of what's purportedly been captured as a result of the attack. The main area where the cloud gaming community may have interest peaked in regards to Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village, which is also known as Resident Evil 8. It is reported from the leak that Stadia paid Capcom $10 million to secure both titles to the platform. Now, whilst there is no confirmation of this, we do know that Capcom is partnered with Stadia. I would include to suggest that if the figure is true, that it wouldn't solely just be for those two titles. It may well include some form of offset towards the time and work to get familiar with porting the games to Stadia. So let's talk about that part first, y'all. For those of you that are like, Stadia needs to put money on the bag. They ain't doing nothing. They're not giving nobody no money. No. We told you that's not the case. The reason why a lot of these developers with the money that let me back up a little bit. $10 million just to secure games on your platform. That's serious. That's serious. Considering that Epic, who we know has thrown money around like a rag doll to secure exclusivity rights, will give around $9 million. We know that about the Control deal that they gave the people that did Control $9 million to get it timed exclusive. This is not for timed exclusivity. This is just to put the damn games on the platform. $10 million? So yeah, this whole notion that Stadia is not putting the money out there, that's not it. What people consider is they say, look, okay, you're giving me a lot of money for this. This is great. But we make our money off the pre-orders, the DLC. You guys just don't have enough participants on the platform for us to put them to the side and focus on you, because we can only do but so much. And if we're going to put this on your platform day and date, we got to pull resources from somewhere else. And here's the thing. Even though you're giving us this 10 million up front, you may give us 20. Hell, you may give us 50 million up front. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because over 30 days time, when I put this on the other platform, I'm going to get 150 million, 200 million in DLC or whatever, whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? So the amount of money that these people are going to make, not just off of sales, so y'all are just looking at the sales, but off the DLC, microtransactions, whatever else happens, is going to be so much more significant than any reasonable amount of money that Stadia can give them. That's why you're seeing, and then you got this pandemic. That's why you're seeing a lot of games not coming day and date. This right here proves that they are putting out the greenbacks. They definitely are. So I hope that myth is dispelled. Oh, they're not putting the money out. They're putting the money out. They just, look, Google has a whole bunch of money, but you know why they got a whole bunch of money? Because they got a whole bunch of investors. And you can't just simply say, look, investors, we want to pay 50 times the transaction amount to get games ported on our system. We want to give Capcom $100 million to ensure that they put this game on our platform day and date. Because that's what it's going to take. Because again, they're going to pull resources from elsewhere. And if they pull resources from elsewhere, that means that their global launch, because they've made commitments to Xbox. So if they pull resources from Xbox and PlayStation or whatever, and let's just say the Xbox One is falling behind, they can't just say, okay, we're going to put on Xbox later. No, they've made written commitments that they're part of the global launch. So if Xbox ain't ready, then they all get pushed back. And if you're going to push everybody back, that's revenue that they're not earning in that month that they were originally banking to earn. You're going to have to come up with this revenue. So you're going to have to come up with the lost revenue for the PlayStation version, for the Xbox version, in DLC, Xbox version, hell, Switch, ColecoVision, Ouya. You see what I'm saying? If y'all got to put yourselves on the other side of the business. Google can't just throw money out there, because if they were to say, okay, we're going to pay them $100 million, $150 million to ensure that Resident Evil 8 comes day and date, for example, they got to justify that to the investors. And the investors are going to say, okay, well, Resident Evil 8 is there. What is your consumer base? How are you going to guarantee that you're going to make this $100 million back? And is this a worthy investment right now? Because we're looking at cloud gaming. We're looking at all the analysts. The analysts say that cloud gaming at best in 2023 is going to be an 8% business. Why are we making 90% investments in an 8% business right now? I'm pulling my money out. See, so we got to think in the realm of these developers and publishers and what they're going to require for everything to come day and date immediately. That's why we got to have patience there. But definitely in regards to this is great news. Now, I made an argument earlier today, and it sparked up some good conversation, and that's what we want here. We don't want to tip too far to any side. We don't want to tip to the side of everything must be ultra positive. You can't say anything negative about Stadia. Or we can't go to the other side of everything is doom and gloom. Stadia won't survive in the next 5 minutes. We got to learn how to operate in the middle and have the internal discussions that aren't deep off the reservations, but are honest questions that, Stadia might sit there and say, I never thought about that part of it. That's a little bit more detailed than we've even examined. But, we'll give that some thought. We didn't know you were interested in that, or you weren't interested in that. And my thing is that I feel, just by looking at, and I can't find the documentation. Let me see if it's is this it? No, that's not it. I can't find it. But Duncan had released the information that has shown the milestones that had been accomplished in these ports of 7 and 8. And that they're even looking to capture 4K 60. Now, that's fantastic. We're going to talk about that. But here's the thing. I said, I think that it would have been better, this may have been a little miscue, for them to, looking at these milestones, this deal was made several months ago, which is great and fantastic. And I know Stadia likes to keep everything close to the vest. But if they would have announced this earlier, instead of, it looks like they may be waiting till the 1 year anniversary to do this, which would be a great announcement thing for us to go yippee at. But if I'm an investor to maximize my dollar, my return, and knowing what I know, I would rather make this announcement as soon as possible. We dry the ink on the deal. You're going to do this game. Resident Evil 8 is coming to Stadia, coming soon. I ain't got no date yet. That way, somebody says to themselves, oh crap, Resident Evil's coming to Stadia. I know a bunch of people who think all these Capcom remakes or just Capcom in general, the Resident Evil games, those are their favorite games. I know a lot of them. Listen to our Broadband Bullies content, our homie Vaughn Lamont. Vaughn Lamont, he's not on an island by himself. There's a lot of people that love the Capcom content. And there's a lot of people that dig Stadia, right? And I imagine you may know some that said, oh, I love Stadia, but because XYZ game ain't coming, I'm going to have to buy a next-gen console. I'm going to still be playing on Stadia, but I got experience on the next-gen console. Where if people would have known earlier that Resident Evil 8 was coming, that it was in the foreseeable future or whatever the case may be, that it was in the plans, it's being worked on, then they would have said to themselves, oh, well, if they're working on it for Stadia, if it's in the plans, I might be willing to wait. I won't spend $500 on that. I'll spend $500 instead on Stadia. I'll get me another controller, some more Chromecast Ultra, some this, some that, buy these games, buy me some Google points or whatever. That money then is reverted to the place that they would rather play it in. But we got to understand, just because this is our favorite place to play, there are some games that transcend that. There are games that where if they're only available on the toaster oven, we're going to play it on the toaster oven. That's how much we love the game. So we got to understand that there's levels to this. Stadia may be our favorite platform, but there are some games that transcend the platform. And in those games that transcend the platform, if people don't get any information that it's coming to your favorite platform, you're willing to buy into another platform to get it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You're still coming back to Stadia. But at the end of the day, if I know that my favorite game is eventually coming to my favorite platform, then I'm spending all that money where? On my favorite platform. Why? Because I know my favorite game is coming there. No one else is getting my money. Stadia benefits from that. Their return on their dollar is maximized. I, as the investor, I'm happier because it's more money coming into me. That's all. That's all. Is it the end of the day? Is it the end of the world? Is it now this thing is going to sell? Well, hell no, it's not that. But I'm just saying, as someone that knows how the community has been reacting to Stadia, it's no longer that pariah. I just think that it would have been better to maximize this whole experience. Resident Evil 8 is a big deal. It's a big deal. I think that announcement shouldn't have been held for their sake, for Stadia's sake. Because now you got people that got to make purchasing decisions. They've already bought and committed to the next generation console, and they might say, well, hell, I got to make some use out of this. I'm still going to get Resident Evil 8 on the PlayStation. That's not everybody, but a dollar is a dollar, right? So that's all we were saying. So it sparked a great conversation. And at the end of the day, it's still great news. It's still fantastic news that the game is coming to the platform. And wow. So all I can say is wow. You know what I mean? But with that said, let's go to the chat. Homie Amunar, I know y'all like, why you keep highlighting Amunar? He's a hater, but this is the homie. He said the only way Google can get games on Stadia is by throwing money at developers and publishers because the games don't make money on Stadia. That's wrong, Amunar. We already proved you wrong with that one, but that's okay. News, I got a chat on Stadia Android at MM2K News. I got chat now. Oh, word, okay, because it's rolling out. That's cool, people. It's cool. KD with the knowledge. It was like that for Xbox and PlayStation. Exactly. It was definitely like that for Xbox. So was Xbox a failure? No. It was definitely like that for the OG Xbox. Not a feller. Post saying DualSense godly. Yeah, oh yeah. Juan Castillo, what is going on, my good friend? Yeah, you see Post up there? I was messing with him, but he tried to ignore me in his chat. He made the bots mad. Oh man, shout out to my brother Post up. That DualSense is godly. I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to my PlayStation 5, like in my opinion, it was a no-brainer. In my opinion, for my test case, it was a no-brainer. It was gonna be PlayStation 5. Even if my PlayStation 5 goes bad, it's kind of like the 360. In the 360, when I got the red ring of death, there wasn't no, oh man, I'm upset about this. I'm getting a PlayStation 3. Oh, hell no. We're going to let that 360 get fixed. We're going to be back on that 360. Same thing with the PlayStation. Ain't no, with the PlayStation 5. If I'm getting the console, it's no brainer. I don't see anything in Xbox's catalog that makes it worth my while to get an Xbox right now for the next year or two, at least. So for me, I'm getting a PlayStation if I do get a console. But I got to be honest with you guys. I mainly got the PlayStation for Godfall. And I do think Godfall is fire. I love it. I'm loving the game. I'll play some more of it tomorrow on my MM2K channel or on Twitch, along with some more Far Cry on the Stadia Streams channel. But I can play it on PC. So I'm looking at the whole dynamic here. Do I want to play God of War? Yeah, I do. But when is that coming? I don't know. I'm not real big on Horizon Zero Dawn, not real big on Spider-Man. I wanted this for Godfall, not real big on Demon Souls. I got this for Godfall. It was, a next-gen experience that, couldn't be done on the current consoles, therefore it wasn't done. So I appreciate that. But I can play that on my PC. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is what really turned me off on the next gen consoles, to where I'm contemplating if I'm going to keep this thing. And my PlayStation people, bear with me here. That was a close call. I'm sitting there watching my own gameplay. So I saw a video where I saw Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I said, wow, that video looks crisp. So I saw it on Xbox. And it was Xbox. And I said, that looks crisp. And then I saw, well, whatever the reason is, development kits or whatever, people were like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla right now looks better on PlayStation 5 than it does the Xbox. I said, what? I said, wow. So I went and got it on the PlayStation 5. I already had it reserved, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I got it on the PlayStation 5, right? I wasn't impressed. Why wasn't I impressed? Because when I played the same game on my 2070, and y'all saw the footage on my MM2K videos, when I played the same game on my my 2070, which is defective, by the way, hence why I even got a 3070. When I played it on my 2070 at 1440p high settings, it looked better than what it did on my PlayStation 5. My PlayStation 5. And if PlayStation 5's version looks better than Xbox Series X's version, then I think my money's with PC to go along with my Stadia experience. Am I gonna be revisiting this when God of War comes out? Sure. Yes, I will. But at least if I do end up getting a PlayStation 5 later, at least I'm pretty sure the yields will be better. It won't be shutting off every time I get into an intense part on Godfall, So those are my thoughts, guys. I really, with some great experiences, but things that disappoint me, even on with the older games. Like, it's cool that, there are some games that are 60 frames per second on these consoles. But again, I think with the lack of new content on both of them, it's definitely more paramount on Xbox. You would expect more games to be enhanced. And I'm disappointed to say that Division 2, one of my favorite games this gen, is only 30 frames per second. Now, Borderlands 3 can get up to 120 frames per second on the PlayStation 5, and that's dope. So I might check that out. But again, If I invest in the PC version, I'm gonna get that on PC anyway, right? So those are my thoughts about these consoles, guys. Those are my thoughts. I'm just not. I'm with Richard Review Tech. I'm not sure that these things were ready yet. It's cool experiences, but were they ready? For, you getting the biggest bang for your buck this time around at launch? For me, no. And that's why Stadia is so great. We just need to make sure that Ubisoft, the hottest deal in town, don't keep screwing us the way that they have been. Right. All right. So let me go to the chat. We got Juan. He says, I'm playing Valhalla on the Series X and it looks fire. Never had a gaming PC though. And he also says runs very smooth. That's dope. We got Stadia Universe in the house. He says, I know so much about Resident Evil from the beginning. Resident Evil is all I want. My favorite franchise. See, that's what I'm saying. Stadia Universe. Let me ask you a question, bro. Just so that the people that think I'm just hating. Okay, so realize that I'm not hating. I'm trying to break this down for y'all so y'all can look at this from other angles besides your own. Let's just say if you didn't know that Resident Evil was coming, and let's just say you got into a great opportunity, Stadia Universe, to get a next-gen console right before the Resident Evil 8 drop. Let's just say you came across a good deal. Would you pick it up? And my follow-up question is, what if you then, knowing what you know now, do you feel the need to pick it up, knowing what you know now? And if it's your favorite franchise, I'm going to guess that the answer is no to that. The homie Charles says, I imagine Switch has some things like that. Also, did you see the survey that Capcom did this past summer? No, drop a link to that, Charles. You know how you do. You know you're always hitting us with the God degree. Hit us. Drop that link. I'm not familiar with that survey. Hell Monkey, 35 viewers, only 11 likes. Smash the thumbs up, everybody. I appreciate it, Hell Monkey. Thank you so much, my good friend. We go. Oh, no. Yeah, we already read that one. Okay, cool. All right, I want to go on to the next thing. This is ESO, nothing else matters unless No Man's Sky comes to Stadia. I'm still waiting on ESO to get up to 60 frames, man. Oh, come on, Bethesda. Can we do it? Can we do it, y'all? Please. I'll be honest with you. It's rough playing games at 30 now. I just can't do it. It's hard for me. Far Cry 5 is the exception because I love that game so much. That's the game I'll play on the toaster. That's like the only exception. You know what I'm saying? That's the only. You have your favorite food, and you'll be like, normally, when I eat my food, I want the plate to be clean, except for, okay, it's a pastrami on rye. I don't care. Or whatever your favorite sandwich is. All right, the plate could be a little dirty. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have licked the ketchup off the plate just a little bit. I'll just put my sandwich on the other side. That's how Far Cry 5, I know that's gross, but that's how Far Cry 5 is to me, y'all. It can be 5 frames per second on a toaster. I'm playing it. Yep. And Katie, I agree with you. She says if you're really looking at PlayStation 5, really not that powerful if you have to add a performance mode. Yeah, I know that all of that was marketing terms. That was a lot of marketing bibble babble. All right, let's do this, y'all, because we're running out of time, and I don't want to take any time. What's going on? For my good friend Clyde. Oops. What am I doing? Okay, I'm screwing this up big time. There we go. Let's go back to Cloudy with Chance of Games. And let's go to our final story, which is, wow. This is a big one. And I urge everybody to go to Cloudy with it. Just go to their damn wall. Go to their damn wall and look at these stories. Stadia looking to expand RPGs in 2023 content. So here's what happened. Stadia dropped a bunch of modules today, where they talked about different elements of their gaming experience. And if I can find here, let me do it like this. If I can find it, let's see. Hold on one second. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, let me see if I can find this real quick, y'all. Let me see if I can find this real quick, y'all. Hold on. Let's see. If I can find this. Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry. I am so sorry because I thought I had this link all the way up, already up, and I don't. Okay, here it goes. All right, so let's do this. Do a little something like this. All right. So as y'all can see here, there's all these modules right here from Stadia Content, from coming out of Canada. There is bridging traditional on-prem game development with somebody, creating pro social games, integrating DEI into the game development, a year in the life of a Stadia game developer, which I'm going through right now, as you can see. And what is Stadia Makers? We've been introduced to that. And then the big kit and caboodle where this Cloudy with a Chance of Game Stories comes from, an introduction to Stadia games and entertainment. In this story, they talk about Stadia's long-term commitment to the platform, to Google's long-term commitment to the Stadia platform. And this is a olive branch to developers to say, look, we're open for business. Here are some of the things that we would like to see from you. And they're trying to get a whole bunch of games, and their goal is to beef up their 2023. Now, for those of you that laughed at MM2K, remember y'all was laughing at me when I said that Stadia, Xcloud, maybe not GFN, they're looking to get a head start on this, but all these cloud gaming services, Amazon as well, they're really not looking to make their mark until when? 2023. I've been saying this all year, right? Remember when the people was like 2023? Why? Because that's the time when casuals, the majority of gamers, are then going to be interested in next generation consoles or the next generation. And their version of the next generation is going to look a lot different than PlayStation and Xbox's version of the next generation. They're looking to do things like Projekt Chimera and just a whole bunch of innovative stuff. Amazon's looking to have different channels, whatever the case. Xcloud is looking to do what it's going to do. But the cloud versions of gaming is going to look a lot different than console gaming. And they're looking to capture those people on their way to say, well, it's time for me to get a PlayStation 5, or, well, it's time for me to get an Xbox Series. They're looking to net those people like tuna, like salmon, and capture them and drag them back. It's like, no. You want to expand here. These guys are already talking about mid-gen refreshes. You ain't got to worry about that here. These guys are talking about this. You ain't got to worry about that. Frictionless gaming, so forth. 2020, again, I don't pull these numbers out of my rear end. I was saying time and time again, time after time, that the reason why that one, the focus is going to be 2023. That's the real war. 2023, excuse the helicopter about a hospital, y'all. I'm sorry. Their life dropping somebody off. But 2023 is because they're trying to capture that audience that may convert over to the next gen consoles. That's their biggest stake, because if they capture those people, if they capture a large swath of those people, they jump from a 4% business or an 8% business, they go into double digits, far into double digits. So they understand that they make an immediate leap out of obscurity to mainstream. And that starts with capturing the hearts and the minds of the people that might go to the next gen consoles. Because if you go to them, then you're going to get more favorable media coverage, more saturation, more mind share, all that stuff. Another sign that this is what was being attempted by Xbox was the fact that you could double up your Xbox Game Pass when they were allowing you to do it last year to win 2023. I don't gamble, but if you gamble, go play 2020. Go trade 2023 in your local lottery, I guess. But do you see now, is this all making sense why I was saying that stuff all year? They are looking to make special bonuses for those because I guess they feel that RPGs may be what's lacking on the platform. So they're giving you a bonus. They want to make sure. Why also do they want to make sure? Whether they're lacking or not, that's when most of Xbox's RPGs are looking ahead. 2023, maybe Avowed, maybe Elder Scrolls 6, all that stuff. So they want to make sure that people aren't saying, okay, well, we're going to go with Xcloud solely because they got the RPGs and you have none. So it's paramount to Stadia that they're paying people to put these RPGs over on the platform. So they're trying to ink these deals now. Now does it all make sense? I didn't mind the laughing because I had to deal with this in the console world where people were like, oh, Xbox is going to outsell and do this 3-1 and their launch lineup is going to destroy any other. And it didn't happen. And I said the signs were there. Y'all just didn't pay attention to the signs. You let your emotions get the best of you. So I repeat here, there was a reason why that it wasn't immediate or wasn't dire for Stadia to get on the big stage. Their ticket is 2023. Why? Because that's Xbox's ticket, that's Amazon, that's all of their ticket, exception to GFN. So they're making big inroads for that time period. They're also allocating big parts of the budget to help with development. And they're really pushing for their... What did I tell you? But see, I didn't have to tell you all this. This came from Jade Raymond. But no. It didn't come from Jade Raymond. People said that it was quote unquote implied from your boy MM2K. When you listen to this module, our homie here gives a lot of detail on, he doesn't talk too much about their first party offerings. What does he talk a lot about? Their second party offerings and what they're willing to do for second party developers that allow them to publish their games. Didn't I tell y'all that courtesy of what Jade Raymond said in her module that she did a while ago? I think she was sitting with Aaron Hoffman, John, and was it John Just? It was somebody else. And she said the Breath of the Wild, our version of the Breath of the Wild, is not coming for 5 years. It's not coming for 5 years. But we're looking at other ways to expand your gaming experience under Stadia Games. I'm paraphrasing that part. What other way can you expand your experience with Stadia unless you do it through the publishing stint? And I told y'all, look for a plethora of second-party games. That was the secret sauce to Xbox's success. And Stadia is picking up from that book, which is smart. Get your second party. The only thing that they're going to do, which is smarter, is that they're not going to abandon their first party for the second party. They're just using second party deals to be the placeholder to still give us great experiences until the first party deals are ready. And I don't mind that because my favorite Xbox experiences were via first party. Let the experts work and do the hard work. You publish it. Mass Effect, BioShock, Jade Empire, Armed and Dangerous, even when you go to the OG Xbox. Most of my favorite Xbox experiences came via second party deals. So that's what we need here until the first party is ready, and that's what they're looking to do. So 2 big haha moments that people had chuckling, huckling. Now y'all see why I was stamping the numbers that I was stamping and while I was putting them out there. Okay. A very big deal. Very big deals, y'all. So with that said, let's go to the chat real quick before we roll. We got the homie Charles Duran. He said a bunch of Stadia players participate in this Resident Evil 8 survey. That is awesome. And if y'all see that from Charles, definitely copy that. He says, I don't think ESO is going to be on Stadia. Will soon be leaving Microsoft. Lowland prophets. Don't listen to Amunar. Amunar is a great guy. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. Xbox CFO just came out and said how they're not looking, pretty much in so many words, that all the bibble babble that we heard earlier is necessarily not true. They are not looking to strip their games from other platforms. They're either looking to put them on Xbox first or make them better somehow on Xbox. Now that's expected, but they're not looking to strip games. That's why I told all the fanboys this is not going to age well, and they just kept running with it. Now they got egg on their face. We're going to do a couple more. We got to roll because I don't want y'all to miss Clive. Says I know so much about, oh, yep, okay. And I said, all right, cool. All right, let's do this, y'all. Here goes the link to Clive's YouTube stream. We'll talk a little bit more tomorrow, but I want y'all to raid Clive Linden right now. We got a couple of minutes. Raid his show, all right? But I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is some great news. Spread the news. Let everybody know. And, of course, we'll be doing videos and gameplays and stuff tomorrow. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. And until next time, you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.